Thanos. Thanos had the power to erase half the universe, yet he died because he missed one hand. This was the 2014 Thanos, pulled into the future after discovering the Avengers' time travel plan. He entered the final battle, convinced the outcome belonged to him. Then, he seized the gauntlet, raised his fingers, and snapped. Nothing happened. During the struggle, Tony Stark had transferred the Infinity Stones onto his own armor. One snap later, Thanos watched his army vanish before he disappeared with them. The reversal is exact. In Infinity War, the snap proved his power. In Endgame, it exposed his arrogance. Thanos understood force, fear, and sacrifice, but only when he controlled the cost. Tony accepted the price Thanos never expected anyone else to pay. His greatest weapon still worked perfectly. It simply stopped serving him. Voldemort's weapon turned against him for an entirely different reason. Voldemort entered his final duel holding the most powerful wand in history. It still betrayed him. He believed killing Snape had made him master of the Elder Wand, but its loyalty had already moved elsewhere. Draco disarmed Dumbledore before Dumbledore died. Harry later overpowered Draco and became the wand's true master without realizing it. That hidden chain decided the battle before the spells were cast. Voldemort used the killing curse. Harry answered with a disarming charm. The wand refused to destroy the wizard it recognized, and Voldemort's own curse returned against him. His defeat wasn't caused by weaker magic. It came from misunderstanding how power changes hands. Voldemort believed murder created ownership and fear created loyalty. The Elder Wand followed neither rule. He spent his life mastering death, yet lost because he never understood allegiance. Green Goblin needed no magic. One bad position was enough. Green Goblin. Norman Osborn had already lost the fight when he created the trap that killed him. After Peter defeated Green Goblin, Norman stopped attacking and appeared to regain control. His voice softened. He asked Peter for mercy and made the danger look finished. Behind Peter, Norman was secretly guiding his glider into position. One final command would strike Spider-Man while his guard was down. Peter's spider sense warned him at the last second. He jumped clear. Norman had placed himself directly in the glider's path, and his own machine hit him instead. The scene turns deception into consequence. Norman could have stopped after losing the battle, but he chose one more dishonest attack. His power didn't fail. His plan worked exactly as intended, except Peter moved. Green Goblin died because Norman could not stop manipulating people, even when surrender was his only safe choice. Bane fell faster to someone he had dismissed. Bane spent most of the movie looking almost impossible to defeat. Then, one ignored person ended him in seconds. Batman damaged Bane's mask and weakened him, but Talia's reveal interrupted the fight. She left to protect the bomb and ordered Bane to keep Bruce alive. Bane decided otherwise. He raised a weapon and prepared to kill Batman himself. Before he could fire, Selina Kyle returned on the Batpod and used its mounted cannon against him. Bane died before another fight could begin. That sudden ending serves a different payoff. Batman does not defeat Bane alone. Selina does, after appearing ready to abandon Gotham. Her return proves Bruce was right to trust her. Bane controlled the city by assuming fear made people predictable. He never considered that Selina might choose loyalty over escape. The man who planned every move lost to a decision he never expected. Syndrome missed one warning. Syndrome's death was explained long before it happened. The clue looked like a joke. Edna Mode warns that capes can catch on aircraft, machinery, and other moving objects. Her examples sound exaggerated until Syndrome tries to escape with Jack. The baby's powers throw him off balance, and Mr. Incredible damages the jet. Syndrome begins sliding backward. Then his cape catches in the turbine and pulls him in. The trap is simple, but the irony is precise. Syndrome spent years building weapons, copying abilities, and designing himself to look like a superhero. He studied power, not experience. Real heroes had already learned why capes were dangerous. Syndrome kept one because the image mattered more than the lesson. His technology did not betray him. His costume exposed the difference between becoming powerful and understanding the role he was pretending to play. Zod's ending carried no accident at all. General Zod didn't die because Superman found a stronger attack. He died because he removed every other choice. After the world engine was destroyed, Zod lost his soldiers, his new Krypton, and the purpose that defined him. He promised to keep attacking humanity because Superman had taken everything from him. Their battle ended inside a station where Superman trapped Zod in a hold. A family stood nearby with nowhere to escape. Zod aimed his heat vision toward them and kept turning his head. Superman begged him to stop. Zod refused. With the family in danger, Superman broke Zod's neck and ended the threat. The scene is not framed as triumph. Superman collapses in grief because Zod forced him across a moral line he never wanted to cross. Zod's final weapon was not his heat vision. It was his refusal to live without his original purpose. Hans needed only a watch. Hans Gruber. Hans Gruber survived the gunfire, the broken window, and the failure of his plan. A wristwatch finally decided everything. After learning Holly was McClane's wife, Hans took her hostage during the final confrontation. McClane appeared unarmed, but he had hidden 2 bullets behind his back. He distracted Hans, fired, and sent him through the window. For a moment, Hans did not fall. He grabbed Holly's watch and began pulling her toward the edge. McClane opened the clasp, freed Holly, and removed the last thing keeping Hans above the street. The watch carries the scene's deeper meaning. It came from Holly's company and represented the career that had created distance inside their marriage. McClane removes that symbol to save her. Hans loses his grip at the same moment. His plan failed through violence, but his final fall came from a small personal detail he never understood. Davy Jones hid his weakness. Davy Jones. Davy Jones tried to escape heartbreak by removing his own heart. That choice created the only weakness that could kill him. He locked the heart inside the dead man's chest, separating himself from the pain connected to Calypso. But anyone who controlled it could control him, and anyone who destroyed it could replace him as captain of the Flying Dutchman. During the Maelstrom battle, Jones mortally wounded Will Turner. Jack Sparrow briefly held the heart and the chance to claim immortality. Instead, Jack guided Will's hand and helped him pierce it. Jones fell into the sea, while Will took command of the Dutchman. The ending turns emotional avoidance into a physical trap. Jones believed removing his heart would make him untouchable. It only moved his life outside his body, where someone else could reach it. He escaped the feeling, but created the weapon that ended him. Killmonger chose differently. Killmonger lost the fight, but his death came from a choice T'Challa offered him. Their final battle moved through Wakanda's vibranium mine, where passing trains disabled both Panther suits. Without that protection, T'Challa found an opening and mortally wounded him. The fight ended underground, but T'Challa carried Killmonger outside to see the Wakandan sunset his father had described when he was young. Then, he offered medical treatment. Wakandan technology might have saved him, but survival meant imprisonment. Killmonger refused. His final decision does not erase the harm he caused, yet it reveals the wound beneath his mission. He reached the homeland that abandoned his father, but only after anger had made belonging impossible. The tragedy is not that another path never existed. It is that Killmonger could finally see it when he no longer believed he could live inside it. Vader's final choice reversed that tragedy completely. Darth Vader. Darth Vader died because saving Luke destroyed the system keeping him alive. The Emperor attacked Luke with Force lightning while Vader stood beside them. Luke had refused to kill his father because he believed Anakin Skywalker still existed beneath the armor. For several moments, Vader watched his son suffer. Then, he chose. He lifted the Emperor and threw him into the Death Star's reactor shaft. The lightning damaged Vader's life support system beyond recovery. Away from the battle, Vader asked Luke to remove his mask. He wanted to see his son directly, even though breathing without it would shorten his remaining time. Vader died as Anakin, not as the servant Palpatine created. That is why his ending lands differently from the others. Every villain before him died, clinging to power, pride, revenge, or control. Vader lost his life by finally letting those things go.